Oh yes, what's cracking, y'all? It's your boy IK, the Infinite King, and we are back for another Destiny 2 article. They say you fitting read today. So in this article is basically the This Week in Destiny article, the TWID or the TWAB, however you want to refer to it. So we're going to take a look. This is the second article from Bungie from today, and I'm going to have a separate video outlining the combat tuning that we're going to be expecting from Marathon. So keep an eye out for that video later on today. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, grab a loved one, grab a cold one. Let's get into this TWID. Oh, yes. All right, boom. This Week in Destiny. We have even more to share about the Monument of Triumph update coming on June 9th. We started yesterday with a Dev Insight article focused on the return of the Director, which I got a video for. And early this morning, we published a Dev Insights article focusing on weapons, the artifact, and vendors. In this TWID, we'll cover what's coming to the Crucible, Pantheon, and Cosmetics. And I already have another video going up on the second Dev Insight article focusing on weapons and the artifact mod, so please check that out. All right, so for the Crucible tuning with the PvP Strike Team, Pantheon, and rewards updates in raids and dungeons, ornaments, bright engrams, bright dust, and more cosmetic updates. Have you read yesterday's Dev Insights article about the Director? Yes, we did. Check that video out. Read this morning's Dev Insight article on weapons and more too? Yes, we have. Check that video. All right, Dev Insights, weapons, artifacts, and focusing preview. We love a long TWID as much as anyone, but this one was already getting very meaty halfway through. That thing was thick. That's why y'all need to know about the updates and changes in weapons, artifacts, plural, yes. And vendor focusing lives on in its own Dev Insights article, which we published earlier today. It covers a lot of important topics like the new weapon tier upgrading system, tier upgrading for crafted weapons, buffs to many exotics like Anarchy, Lament, or Vex Mythoclast, including new catalysts, improvements for previous ones, balance update to most legendary weapon types, including an overall buff to primary weapon damage in PvE, targeted buffs to most special weapons for PvE, many legendary perk fixes and buffs, a preview of the very customizable Artifact 2.0, including new ways to counter champions, saving your choices in loadouts, updates to vendors, weapon focusing, and gear attunement. If you have not yet read it, go do it. And like I said, we have a video up on that, so please check that out. Dev Insights, Return of the Director. While we're at it, did you read yesterday's Dev Insights article all about the Return of the Director? Yes, we did. This one was published yesterday and covers the following: the Director, layout additions and updated destination loot, distortions, adding some spice to select patrol modes, the Portal, breaking down barriers and overhauling the experience, Gambit Ops, bringing our old friend back into the fold, Heavy Metal, Vehicular Mayhem, Sparrow Racing League, returning tracks, new loot, and some twists along the track. Check out the full article. It's right over here. And yeah, so the Portal, that's getting tucked away. Thank goodness. Here we go. Here's the new stuff. PvP Strike Team update once more with feeling. Sandbox tuning review. First, let's review some of the previously discussed sandbox tuning for weapons and armor that will directly impact Crucible. We will have more to talk about with abilities next week, but a sneak peek, check out some of the changes we will be discussing, including some big ones to invisibility. Yes. Yes. Abilities. Global. All multi-charge abilities will now start Crucible matches with one charge instead of all charges full. My cold snaps. Void. Invisibility. Greatly increased opacity to make players more visible in Crucible. That's it. That's it? That's all y'all did? Seriously? Oh my god. Scatter grenades. Reduce chase distance versus players by 50%. Reduce the amount of grenade energy this ability gains from perks by 12.5. I'm so sad. I'm immediately extremely sad. Yeah, y'all just should have just killed the uptime on it. Oh man, Hunter, Solar, Deadshot Super, reduced energy refund for kills on enemy players by 40%. You know what? There might be more, because this is just touching on it. There might be more in the article next week that focuses on abilities. So let me slow my roll and shut my face. Warlock, Void, Pocket Singularity, reduced tracking shape against players by 60%. Do we need that? Do we need that? Y'all don't really give Warlocks a lot of love to begin with. So do we really need that? Seriously, Bungie? Now I'm gonna be biased, right? Like, don't get me wrong. Love Destiny 2 and everything, but as a Warlock main, like, did we really need to do this? Did we? Titan Arc. Knockout. Remove lunge range bonus versus enemy players. Corrected an issue where the bonus damage could be applied too early, increasing the damage of the melee that activated it, causing unexpected one-hit kills in Crucible. Thank you. Stasis. Diamond Lance. Reduced freeze AoE versus enemy players. Players can no longer quick fall after throwing the Diamond Lance. Interesting. Artifacts. Artifacts are now disabled in the Trials and Competitive playlists. Exotic Armor. Warlock. Demisuffusion. Increase the time between damage ticks against players. Nothing Manacles. Reduce the extra seekers created from 4 to 3 and reduce the range and lifetime of extra seekers. But y'all don't touch hunters. Why? Why? Titan AC/DC feedback fence no longer provides any damage resistance versus other players. Oh. Damn. Damn. Sorry, Titans. Damn. But y'all still won't touch hunters. Okay. Ammo system. Reduce the point gains from special ammo and heavy ammo kills and assists and super kills by 33%. Reduce glaive melee point gains by 20%. Reduce adaptive burst LFR ammo crates from 5 to 3. Reduce bitter ends ammo crates from 75 to 62. Weapons, auto rifles, high impacts, increase RPM from 360 to 340. This was in the Dev Insight article. To compensate for the faster time to kill, reduced ADS damage fall off scalar from 1.7 to 1.6. Reduce base damage from 24 to 22, and critical hit damage from 43.2 to 39.6. So overall, there's just a balance between the RPM and the damage in TTK. This includes Vex, Mythoclast, and Suros Regime with dual speed receiver, but excludes Cerberus +1 and Sweet Business in its non-spun up state. Adaptives increase base damage from 15 to 15.5 and critical hit damage from 26.25 to 27.1. Pulse rifles, lightweights, reduce base damage from 19.7 to 18.8 and critical hit damage from 31.5 to 30.1. Legacy frames. Since these weapons inherit the damage change from lightweight pulse rifles, we are reverting the nerf to their ADS damage fall off scalar. Increase ADS damage fall off scalar from 1.6 back to 1.7. High impacts increase ADS damage fall off scalar from 1.6 back to 1.7. Scout rifles, rapid frames, reduce base damage from 28 to 27.3 and critical hit damage from 54.6 to 53.25. Hand cannons, aggressives, reduce base damage from 49 to 48.7 and critical hit damage from 90.65 to 90.1. The last word, increased stability on mouse and keyboard, increased aim assist when firing from the hip and on mouse and keyboard by 10% on both. Perks, Adagio, reduce the damage bonus on hand cannons from 30 to 27%, which is great because Maz around Thor was cooking very, very hard. I think that's also going to impact Criminal's Dagger, Big Crimmy. Full choke, pellet spread is now reduced by 5% instead of 3.25. Shot package intrinsic now reduces pellet spread by 2.5 on ADS. Man, like... Y'all just refuse. I don't understand. I assume the majority is just hunter mains because, like, you know, like global. I mean, again, this is global, so invisibility is if other players go invisible. I need, please, Bungie. This is the last thing. It's the last update. Please, just do something. Do something about them. All right, unified Crucible ops. We have moved all the playlists into the Crucible ops screen and deprecated the legacy Crucible node. This allows us to better focus the population and reduce instances of duplicate or overlapping playlists. As a note, for Control and Iron Banner Control, the only playlist in which skill is utilized for matchmaking, Outlier Protection has been set to automatically revert to open skill if queue times are taking too long. Okay. Control, Outlier Protection Matchmaking replaced by Iron Banner Control when active. Competitive rank-based matchmaking. Rumble, open skill matchmaking. Quick play, open skill matchmaking rotates game modes weekly. Mayhem, Rift, Relic, Momentum, Scorched, Supremacy, Clash, Zone Control, and Hardware Mix 6v6. Replaced by Iron Banner Quick Play when active. So basically this is just letting you know, like, hey, these are all the quick play options that you might have available. These are all going to rotate weekly except when Iron Banner is active. Small team quick play, open skill matchmaking, rotates game modes daily. Survival, Heavy Metal, Elimination, Hardware Mix 3v3, Arena Collision 4v4, Lockdown, Clash, and Elimination, replaced by Trials when active, so I'll likely be just over the weekend. Limited time modes, Trials of Osiris, passage-based matchmaking, available every Friday through reset on weeks when Iron Banner is not active. Resets are on Tuesday, so basically Trials of Osiris will run every Friday through up until reset on Tuesdays. Replace a small team quick play. Iron Banner Control, Outlier Protection Matchmaking, available for 1 week every 4 weeks, so every month replaces Control. Iron Banner Quick Play, Open Skill Matchmaking, available for 1 week every 4 weeks. Once a month rotates between Tribute, Fortress, and Eruption, replaces Quick Play options. Sparrow Racing League SRL and private matches. So basically all they're saying is we're going to be seeing all of these in one node, which is good. Everything in one place. I like it. Updated rewards. So this is the first look that we're getting at the new Crucible Ops armor. So for Hunter, this is what we got. A little space boy. Honestly, you know what this kind of reminds me of? The original trailer for Destiny 1. It kind of gives me vibes of that. Okay. Kind of going with like a spacesuit-ish theme. Warlocks. I'm actually really digging the Warlock one. All right. I'm digging it. It really does give me vibes from D1, like the trailer that they had with all three of the astronauts on Mars. I feel like this is what the armor would look like if they made an armor set based on their space gear. So that's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. A nod to the past, if you will. All right. So armor set, Triumphal Anthem, 2-piece, scoot to loot, slide and collect nearby ammo and temporarily grants enhanced reload speed and handling to your weapons. 4-piece, shoot to loot, dealing damage with your weapons temporarily grants an enhanced slide. Ooh, gain damage resistance while sliding. I know that they're overhauling the set bonuses. We saw in one of the Dev Insight articles, one of the changes to one of the armor set bonuses that gives you essentially jolt on slide, which is really dope. So more movement stuff, which I really like as far as the armor sets are concerned. Weapons, new, the Helmsman Arc High Impact Bolt Action Sniper. Okay. So, No Land Beyond Bolt Action? I forget. Reprise, back fully tiered with new perk options. Joxer's Longsword, Better Devils, Unending Tempest, Randy's Throwing Knife, Autumn Wind, Out of Bounds, Sorrow's Verse, Survivor's Epitaph, The Keening, and Frozen Orbit. Returning, weapons from the Edge of Fate through Renegades that will still be earnable, Riptide, Big Maz, Mida Macro Tool, Pure Recollection, Return Memory, Stars and Shadow, and Qua Vinctus 4. Newly tiered, weapons from pre-The Edge of Fate, which are coming back as tiered versions with the same perks that they had last time they were released. Retrofuturist, Anonymous Autumn, and Last Perdition. New ship, Sparrow and Ghost, as post-game drops. So this is stuff that you can get from Crucible. We got a new ship, Fuzzy Shack's ship. Got the one-horn Sparrow, that's pretty dope. And the Shack shell is cute. New emblem and shader on Shax's reward track. All right, new modifier, Arena Collision. Arena Collision is a 4v4 game mode that harkens back to the original Arena style of sandbox with more methodical gameplay focused on weapons, map knowledge, and movement. Fight over the heavy ammo crates to help you control the objective and enjoy greatly reduced penalties for hip firing and airborne gameplay. Great. There's hunters jumping all over the place. Rules, primary weapons, damage unchanged. Tip fire accuracy and aim assist penalties are decreased. Special weapons are disabled. Heavy weapons damage decreased. The game starts with 3 heavy ammo crates active, 1 for each side and 1 neutral. Crates respawn as a wave on a 120-second cooldown, so 2 minutes. Crates are not shared. General weapons. Oh, crates are not shared, so you got to pick and choose who you want from your team to get the heavy. Interesting. General weapons. All weapons are granted plus 60 airborne effectiveness. Oh, man. Radar, heavily modified. Base radar range has been decreased and no longer expands dynamically. Players will only show up on radar if they are shooting, sliding, sprinting, jumping, or have heavy ammo. Within the center circle, players will only show up as dots instead of illuminated wedges. Interesting. So I see what they mean by D1. They did make a reference that it would kind of be more like D1-ish in flavor, this mode. Grenades. Grenade-based recharge has been disabled. Getting a final blow will refund grenade energy, the amount of which is based on the base cooldown and your grenade stat. Nice. Melees. Powered melees are disabled. Melee damage has been decreased. Glaive melee damage has been further reduced. Class abilities. Class ability base recharge has been disabled. Getting a final blow will refund class ability energy, and the amount of which is based on the type of ability you have selected, its base cooldown, and your class ability stat. Supers, disabled. Camera 3 peeking is disabled, so similar to, I believe, Trials? Respawns 7 seconds, revives enabled. So, interesting game mode. Basically, you only get class or melee actually, no powered melees, just grenades and class abilities on kills. So if you slay out, then you'll be getting your class abilities and grenades. But If you're getting cooked and folded up and bent, then you're not going to be getting a lot. The thing that I am not too crazy about, but I see the balance with the radar, so we'll see, is all weapons are granted plus 60 airborne effectiveness. The thing that immediately comes to mind, and again, I really want to see what the ability sandbox tuning is going to be like for next week, is hunters. Y'all are just perpetually in the air at all times, apart from warlocks that might have heat rises enabled. We're probably going to be seeing a lot more of just hunter jumping all over the place and just shooting, as well as flying warlocks with heat rises because of this. However, players will only show up on radar if they are shooting, sliding, sprinting, jumping, or have heavy ammo. Because they will show up on jumps, I wonder if that trade-off will balance this out, because this kind of seems crazy to me. We'll see when it happens. New additions to private matches. Heavy metal and SRL have been added. More on them in this Dev Insights article. We have also created a couple of new private match exclusive modifiers. Glass cannons. When everyone is super, no one is. This modifier is filled with 30 seconds of fun style loops and power spikes, but players are much less resilient. Plays most similarly to the D1 style of Crucible. Interesting. Primary weapons. Body shot damage is significantly increased. Special weapons damage is significantly increased. Special ammo meter progress significantly faster. You can retain twice as much ammo after death. The game starts with special ammo crates active, and crates are shared. Heavy weapons. Damage is significantly increased. A single heavy ammo crate will spawn at a neutral location on a 240-second cooldown, and the crate is shared. General weapons. Aim assist is slightly reduced. Radar is unchanged. Grenade cooldowns are doubled, but the damage is greatly reduced. Melee's cooldowns are doubled, but the damage is greatly increased. Class abilities cooldowns are doubled. Supers cooldowns are halved, but damage taken from weapons, grenades, or melee while in super is greatly increased. Camera unchanged. Respawn 5 seconds. No revives. Damn. Interesting. So, I mean, this is fun. This is definitely going to be fun if you have a fire team of folks that you can play. But I feel like this would have been fun to see in just the actual rotation of PvP. Software, the opposite of hardware. Throw more grenades and melees and supers and look good while doing it. Primary weapons disabled. Special weapons disabled. Heavy weapons disabled. General weapons disabled. Radar is unchanged. Grenade cooldowns greatly decreased. Melee cooldowns greatly decreased. Class abilities cooldowns greatly decreased. Super cooldown greatly decreased. Fixed in third person. Wow. 5 seconds, no revives. We've also added a new rule set for Rift to private matches. Single round Rift allows the gameplay to play continuously from start to finish with no resets after a spark is done. Yes, so basically with Rift, every round you would have to grab a spark, dunk it at your side, and then once you've done that, it would reset. You get like a loading screen, and then you would start the next round. They've removed that loading screen essentially, so the gameplay will flow a lot better for that. Software sounds really fun. It's basically just mayhem on crack and in third person. So yeah, check that out with your homies. Renewed competitive rewards. While we are doing a rewards refresh, we have decided not to reset rank alongside the release. Check out the new competitive armor set and weapons offering. So here's the armor set for hunters. Kind of a generic looking set in my opinion, especially if it's for competitive. Titans, more streamlined Titan set, which is pretty cool. I know that some people actually like that. Some people don't like the overall bulky look of Titan armor, so this might appeal to some of those folks. And the Warlock set looks okay. I've never been a fan of this particular helmet design, that weird thing in the middle, that weird like vertical visor, but it's alright. It's alright. Just trying to take a look at the weapons to see if there's anything we might not have seen yet. Heavy looks a little different. I believe that's from Trials, it looks like. Armor set, per Audacia. 2-piece, primary chain, primary ammo weapon, final blows grant a stacking bonus to mobility and primary weapon range and handling until you are defeated. Ooh, so incentivizing using primary. 4-piece, Sublime Transit, increases mobility and grants enhanced sprint speed and slide distance. Note, these benefits do not stack with the enhanced sprint or slide provided by exotics or abilities. They do stack with things that increase movement speed via a scalar like lightweight or killing wind. So basically buffs that you might get from perks in a weapon, not necessarily from armor exotics. So Interesting. So if you have a weapon that has killing wind, you start slaying out the 4-piece set bonus, and you'll be just scooting and dooting. Weapons: new Solemn Lie, Arc, lightweight 140 RPM hand cannon, reprised Rose, Redrix's S-Stock, Mercurial, Overreach, Deadlock, Beliosaurus, D, the Riposte. Returning Solemn Remembrance, Peculiar Charm. Alongside the new competitive Glory armor set and the returning weapons, we're also adding 2 new emblems to be earned. New comp emblem, I am the Crucible, with 77 games in the competitive playlist to unlock this emblem. Sheesh. That's pretty dope though. Little gladiator situation. Nice. New Ascendant Zero emblem, the last Guardian standing. Works the same way as the original Ascendant Zero emblem, where you earn points for wins in Ascendant Zero with more points for wins at higher ranks. The number of points you have determines the emblem's drop chance after a win. Earning 1,000 points guarantees the emblem on your next win. Progress towards earning this emblem only begins after you have acquired Umbral Echelon, which is still available to be earned. So this is basically, if you are like the god of comp, emblem that you'll get. So pretty sick. Little Phoenix, looks like. We've also taken a pass over the map weighting for the playlist. Wish we could have gotten more maps, man, with the goal to remove some of the more frustrating map and mode combinations from the playlist and reduce the likelihood of some others from occurring. Map weighting changes. Reduced. Solitude Clash, high to normal. Dissonance Clash, high to very low. Ooh. I mean, that's just Clash, though. I'm curious to see Control if this has changed at all. Probably not. Dissonance Clash. Okay. Rusted Lands Clash, normal to low. Widow's Court Clash, low to very low. Interesting. Anomaly Collision, low to very low. Removed. Multiplex Collision, low to 0. Exodus Blue Clash, low, very low to 0. Twilight Gap and Vostok, both modes for Collision and Clash, very low to 0. Interesting. I don't honestly play Collision or Clash as often. I'm more of a Control player, but yeah, there you go. Trials of Osiris and map rotations. We're going to be changing the way map selection works for Trials moving forward. It would be great if we had voting, like in the game. Each weekend we'll have up to 3 maps on rotation chosen using the below process. 1 map is randomly selected from each of the 3 pools below. Pool 1. Oh, fuck, it's Burnout. Javelin 4. An Endless Veil, 33.33% chance repeating, of course, per map. All right. Pool 2. All Pool 1 maps. Altar of Flame, Pacifica, Cirrus Plaza, Eventide Labs, Dead Cliffs, Meltdown, Solitude, Radiant Cliffs, Wormhaven, 8.33% chance per map. And Pool 3, all Pool 1 and Pool 2 maps, all remaining maps except Converges, Rusted Lands, Multiplex, Citadel, and Exodus Blue, 3.23% chance per map. So I guess either you know what pool, or they'll announce what pool they're pulling from at any given week, or maybe they rotate. I don't know. So while most weekends we would expect to end up with 3 different maps on rotations, the system makes it possible to have the more popular maps doubled and triple weighted. For example, we could end up with double Javelin 4 selected in pools 1 and 2, plus the Dead Cliff selected in pool 3 for a weekend. It's even possible, though unlikely, to end up with all Endless Veil, Burnout, or Javelin 4 for a weekend. The best maps in the game, in my opinion. For a weekend, if that map gets selected in each pool, we feel this change will help to keep the Trials experience feeling less repetitive week over week. Now, hold on here. We got some tasty morsels for the armor. Oh my god. We've also got a whole new set of rewards for Trials of Osiris. We will be resetting Trials engrams at launch, so spend them now. New Trials engrams and the score-based rewards at the end of matches will be available to drop the all-new gear, while focused gear system is changing to have a pool of weapons instead of a single focused item. Ooh, what we got here? Damn, that Titan helmet looks sick. Heavy breathing. Oh my god. Yeah, this is pretty sick. This is pretty sick. This is pretty sick. Okay, all right, y'all cooked. Armor set, Cruel Electrum, 2-piece, primary survivor. When an ally is defeated, primary ammo weapon gains increased handling, reload speed, target acquisition, and reduced flinch. Bonus increases when multiple allies are dead at the same time or when running solo. Cool. 4-piece set bonus, primary phantom. Final blows with primary ammo weapons remove you from radar for a short time. Drawing a weapon that does not use primary ammo will immediately end this effect. They're really putting an emphasis on primary weapons this time around because y'all don't know how to act with primary weapons. So they're like, y'all gonna start using them now. Weapons, new. Woeful Hamartia? Woeful Hamartia. Arc. Adaptive burst linear fusion rifle. Reprised. The Messenger. The Summoner. The Scholar. Soulless Scar. Aisha's Care. Exalted Truth. Keen Thistle. The Inquisitor. Igneous Hammer. Shayura's Wrath. Eye of Soul. Exile's Curse. And Tomorrow's Answer. All right, so reprised. We're getting all those back. And returning. The Martlet. Conundrum Hammer. The Immortal. Cataphract. GL3. Astral Horizon. Everburning Glitz. Burden of Guilt. Aria's Neutralizer. Auric Disabler. Aisha's Embrace. Unwavering Duty. And Forgiveness. All right, and newly tiered, Reed's Regret and Yesterday's Question. All right. Bonus focus pools are replacing the old single weapon as a weekly focus, now a focus pool of weapons that drop in addition to the base rewards. The Lighthouse will have its own focus pool as well, home to some of the best weapons Trials has to offer. So yeah, the Lighthouse did need its own focus pool because currently when you do get to the Lighthouse, you get buns and glizzies out the chest, nothing really crazy. So yeah, week 1, the Scholar, Exile's Curse, Soulless Scar, Forgiveness, Aisha's Embrace, Corundum Hammer, and Astral Horizon. Week 2, Aisha's Care, Keen Thistle, Woeful Hamartia, The Immortal, Burden of Guilt, Unwavering Duty, Cataphract, GL3. Week 3, Exalted Truth, Eye of Soul, Tomorrow's Answer, Everburning Glizzy, Auric Disabler, Aureus Neutralizer, The Martlet. And in the Lighthouse, Igneous Hammer, The Messenger, Shayura's Wrath, The Summoner, and The Inquisitor. Interesting. We'll also have 2 new sets of ships, Sparrows, and Ghosts for you to collect, as well as a new emblem and shader on Saint 14's reward track. So we got the thick-jawed Crimson Chin shell. We got the... Oh, man. We got the revamped Sagira shell. We got a new Sparrow, 2 new Sparrows, and 2 new ships. I like this one. Nobody uses Sparrows anymore, though. That's the thing. I really wish they would have emphasized like putting skimmers and stuff into the reward pools for some of this stuff. All right, Iron Banner renewed rewards. With the Monument of Triumph release, Iron Banner is returning with new 4-week cycle, and that's not all. You can also earn a new armor set and a slew of reprised and returning weapons. All right, so let's see what we got. The Iron Banner armor for Hunter. Oh man, they gave him a hat. Titan. Okay. This looks kind of funny, honestly. Oh no, they gave us the hat too in Warlocks. All right. This is like this is like old school, like battlefield in the trenches armor. Yeah, I'm kind of on these designs, but let's see what the armor set bonuses are. Armor set, Iron Battalion, 2-piece armor set bonus. Primary honing increases handling and reload speed for primary ammo weapons. Primary ammo weapons gain increased damage against non-boss combatants based on your weapon stat. Okay. 4-piece super cyclical. Final blows while your super is active. Refund super energy when it ends. Nice. Wow. Damn. Is this weapon? It just says final blows, so it's not weapon specific. So, can you stack this with exotics that give you the same benefit? Weapons reprised: Fellwinter's Lie, Multi-Mock CCX, Lethal Abundance, The Forward Path, Point of the Stag, The Wizened Rebuke, Pressurized Precision, Criminal's Dagger, Big Crimmy, The Time-Worn Spire, Roar of the Bear, Ganora's Axe, and Included Finality. Returning Pledge and Finite Impactor, newly tiered Tusk of the Boar, Frontier's Cry, Archon's Thunder, Reese Walker, Tanasha's Mastery, Peace Bond, Allied Demand, The Hero's Burden, Claws of the Wolf, Jorum's Claw, Bite of the Fox. Bonus focus pools. These pools will alternate each time Iron Banner is active. Winning gives you a higher chance of earning a bonus drop. First Iron Banner, The Forward Path, The Time-Worn Spire, The Wizened Rebuke, Big Crimmy, Ganora's Axe, Fellwinter's Lie, and Pledge. Second Iron Banner, Multi-Mock, Finite Impactor, Included Finality, Lethal Abundance, Pressurized Precision, Point of the Stag, and Roar of the Bear. So, stuff to look out for on the focusing pools with the first and the second Iron Banners. All right, now we got info on Pantheon. Enter the Pantheon. Pantheon. Monuments of Triumph will include a new set of Pantheon raid activities. I'm curious about this. Shaped in the image of the original format, but with upgrades and surprises featuring new bosses, new rewards, and new ways to play. We wanted to celebrate Destiny 2's bosses that veterans may remember and give returning Guardians an opportunity to experience them. Let's see what we got. Oh man, at launch, 2 activities will be available, each with a unique lineup of bosses. The first Saturday after launch, a 3rd activity will unlock which challenges players to take on the full gauntlet of bosses. The following Tuesday at reset, weekly rotators begin featuring individual bosses. Guardians can now earn a new armor set for each class, a suite of weapons reprised from the original activities with a unique origin trait and holofoil variants. Each multi-boss activity concludes with a vendor offering purchase of rerolls for acquired items with spoils of conquest. I wonder if the title of Eternal is still up for grabs. Reprised Pantheon encounters have a chance to reward ornaments for their original armor sets. For example, Callus may drop, so we're getting Callus, armor ornaments related to the original base Leviathan raid for Guardians who have not unlocked them. Let's go! Let's go! Completing a new set of Triumph rewards, emblems, exotic, cosmetic items, and a new title. Wow. All activities offer a new adventure difficulty aimed at players looking for a lower stakes opportunity to learn, teach, and practice for success. This lifts the power cap, allows infinite revives, and adds slack to the timing requirements for some mechanics with the trade-off of a limited pool of lower tier rewards. But I wonder if we can still upgrade those tier of weapons. So if we get like a tier 3 situation, I wonder if we can still upgrade it to a tier 5 if we get a decent roll. So interesting. Feats. Feats. Since their introduction in the Edge of Fate, we've been listening to feedback in that in already challenging activities, the feat system has made it too difficult to earn the highest quality gear. In Monument of Triumph, those activities now have a standard difficulty option without feats that will continue to offer weekly tier 5 drops per encounter. Feats are still accessible in a new custom difficulty mode where we have overhauled the quantity and quality of rewards granted by completing encounters with feats active. Okay. The additional drops and tier upgrades are per encounter and guaranteed. In addition, we've increased the reward value of some feats to better represent their degree of challenge. Reminder, feats will not be present in Pantheon. These changes are specifically for the Desert Perpetual. Okay. The table below shows the total gear rewards for each feat reward guide or reward grade. These rewards are farmable and can be claimed repeatedly. Huh. Cutthroat Combatants, +4 reward grade. Challenges, +3 reward grade. Shock Troopers, +2 reward grade. Token limit, phase limit, +1. And the rewards that you get accordingly. So, at minimum, you need a +2 reward grade to get a chance at a tier 5. It looks like. But if you do something, well, if you do like token limit plus cutthroat combatants, you get a total of a +5, which gives you a chance at 3 tier 5s. So, yes. Adjust accordingly. Raids and dungeons, rad rewards. We want to provide a compelling reason for Guardians to revisit their favorite raids and dungeons activities in Monument of Triumph. To that end, we've updated all weapons and armor from the Edge of Fate raid and dungeon activities to now provide tiered rewards. This means all raids and dungeons will drop tiered armor, and all dungeons will drop tiered weapons, and craftable raid weapons will have tier bonuses accessible from the relic. For weapons, this unlocks all the features of gear tiering, including enhanced perks, barrel mags, origin traits, cosmetics, and mods. For armor, this unlocks all the features of gear tiering plus unique set bonuses for each raid and dungeon. Nice. Curious to see what the bonuses are going to be. In addition, all raid weapons will gain updated perk pools, while all dungeon weapons also gain new origin traits. Craftable raid weapons now have an option to upgrade into tiered gear. Nice. Check out today's Dev Insights article. Okay, so we can do that. New tiered raid armor will no longer drop with a slot for activity-specific mods. However, once acquired, those legacy armor pieces can now be purchased from Hawthorne with spoils. Okay. Below is an example from the Shattered Throne dungeon that launched without its own unique armor set in 2018. which now rewards an armor set featuring art from the season of the Defiant and includes a new set bonus. Oh, wait, is this? Huh. 2-piece Queen's Foil Rush. Gain a powerful overshield while performing your finisher. When you finish the target, release a slowing burst around you. 4-piece Truth to Power. Gain increasing damage resistance when you deal damage or land final blows. Finishers grant accelerated progress. At max stats stacks, the recharge rate of your abilities also increased. Oh my god. So Shattered Throne Dungeon. Huh. That's a really good... This is a good set bonus. I believe we have this armor in the game already, but I guess they're associating it to Shattered Throne. Okay. Rad Rotator. The Raid and Dungeon weekly feature rotators are returning with changes to incorporate tiered rewards. 2 Raid and 2 Dungeon activities will be promoted to featured status each week. Challenge icons will lead you to the featured activities on their original destinations, in addition to being sorted to the top of the new Raid and Dungeon category on the Director. While they previously offered a power upgrade, featured Raid and Dungeon activities now reward the highest quality gear as outlined below. The listed rewards are farmable unless noted with a weekly lockout. Featured Raid, Standard, Deep Sight weapons or Tier 5 armor from encounters and challenges. Master, same as Standard plus Adept weapons from challenges. Director Challenge, Deep Sight weapon or Tier 5 armor, weekly lockout. Hidden Chests, Tier 5 armor, weekly lockout. Okay. So you can't farm chests. You can get Tier 5 armor, but you can't farm the chests. I mean, that was the same as it was before. So, like the Dreaming City, you can go and get from that raid, you can go and find certain chests and you can get gear from it. So now you'll get Tier 5 armor, but once you open that chest with that specific class of character, then you no longer have access to it, so you can't keep farming it. Deep Sight chest, Deep Sight weapon or Tier 5 armor if all patterns complete. Vendor, weekly Deep Sight purchase. Master offers adepts for 25 spoils. All right, so basically the difference between Standard and Master raids, same as Standard. So you get Deep Sight weapon or Tier 5 armor from encounters and challenges, and if you do it on Master, you also get this plus Adept weapons from challenges. Nice. All right. Non-featured raid, Standard, chance for a Deep Sight weapon and Tier 3 armor. Master challenges and Deep Sight chest, Deep Sight weapons and Tier 5 armor. So obviously more incentive to do Master with challenges and find the Deep Sight chest. So, all right. Featured Dungeon, Standard, Tier 5 weapons and armor. Master, Tier 5 weapons and armor. Director Challenge, Tier 5 weapons and armor, weekly lockout. And the Hidden Chests, Tier 5 weapons and armor on a weekly lockout. So basically, you have a featured dungeon. If you do it on Standard difficulty, you get that. If you do it on Master, you get the same thing. If you do the challenge that's available for that featured dungeon, then you get, I guess, more weapons and armor, but that is on a weekly lockout. So you probably complete it, and then once you've completed the challenge for the week, you just gotta wait for the weekly reset. Non-featured dungeon, Standard, Tier 3 weapons and armor, and Master Tier 5 weapons and armor. As you can tell, this release is a look back at our rad content over the years. We have marveled at how our extraordinary community has overcome every challenge we could dream up. Your dedication and limitless capability have been a resource of inspiration. With Pantheon and Moments of Triumph, we've endeavored to again create an opportunity for your fire team to walk into the unknown and achieve the impossible. More vault and loadout slots. Yes. Before we close out the section about so many new and renewed weapons and armor to earn, you may be wondering where you're going to fit all of it. Well, good news. Your vault is getting more space. It's increasing from its current 1,000 slots to 1,300. Thank goodness. That should be enough to fit everything, we hope. I hope so too, man. On top of that, how about also getting some extra loadout slots too? We're adding 8 more slots, so you'll go from the current 12 slots up to 20. And we saw that in the previous Dev Insight article. Oh, man. Hell yeah. More vaults, please. Cosmetics, Bright Engrams, Bright Dust, and expanded exotic armor ornaments. When Renegades launched, we introduced universal exotic ornaments, and the Destiny fashion community got to work making many exciting new fits for their Guardians. However, one question rose to the top of the feedback. When can we put legendary ornaments on our exotic armor? The answer is in Monument of Triumph. We didn't stop at just legendary ornaments, however. All qualities of armor ornament from common to legendary can now be applied to the currently equipped exotic armor alongside universal exotic ornaments. The same caveats applied for universal exotic ornaments will still apply for our expanded ornaments. If the ornament is not specifically parented to the equipped exotic armor, its visuals will be temporarily disabled in PvP content, but will return upon exiting that content. Special visual cues or effects applied by ornaments that are not specifically parented to the equipped exotic may not be visible. So basically, long story short, all they're trying to say is all the exotics now have an option to be transmogged by legendary armor pieces or anything going from common upward to legendary. But when you're going into PvP, it's going to look like the regular exotic, because people that you're fighting in PvP should be able to see what exotic you're using and know what they're up against. And if certain legendary armors have like lights or kind of animations that are specific to them, they might not appear when you have that legendary piece transmogged onto the exotic armor. So something to be aware of, but still overall pretty damn cool that we're getting this. Additionally, note that the equipped armor's icon will update to show the visual of the equipped ornament, but will still retain the exotic quality color. This will ensure that players in PvP can always know that their rivals have an exotic equipped, even if they're wearing an ornament of different quality. All right. Where did it say? Okay, yeah, it's still gonna be disabled in PvP. Exotic ornaments and collections. In addition to expanding the range of ornaments that can be equipped on exotic armor, the full collection of exotic armor ornaments from each class can now be viewed in collections in the exotic section. Hell yeah, okay. Nice. All right, Destiny announcements. This will allow you to refer to announcements that you may want or need to reread, may have missed, or had accidentally dismissed for up to 30 days after receipt, after which they will naturally expire and be removed. Additionally, the system will now support automatic delivery of messages to the announcement screen, resulting in fewer pop-up messages overall. The announcement screen also includes a featured item carousel. In addition to standing messages, this section will include information about relevant content. All right, cool. So just looks like just information that the game is telling you, like, hey, this is what's available this week, this is what's available here and there. Bright Engram focusing. Actually, let me see something. Monument to Seasons Pass. Visit the seasonal archive in the tower to unlock and earn rewards from past season and rewards passes. Rewards are acquired through chronologs, a new item available from the current rewards pass to all players. Okay. Nuclear Mayhem, new aspects, grenades, and okay. Just checking to see if there's any hidden information there. All right, Bright Engram focusing. The upcoming release will also change the way that Bright Engrams work with the addition of Bright Engram focusing, housed in a new tab in the Eververse. A focused engram will award an unowned item of the engrams category. For example, a focused ship engram will provide an unowned ship. So this is cool. You can focus your Bright Engrams. If you are already at the end of your season pass rank, I believe every level that you get after that, after you've completed it, I think it's like past 110, whenever you increase in rank, you will get a Bright Engram. So the more you play, the more Bright Engrams you get, the more you can focus them for things that you don't have as far as ornaments, ships, ghost shells, all that stuff, and emotes as well. So that's pretty cool that you can actually focus it. The categories for focusing include, for one Eververse engram, 300, 600, and 900 Bright Dust. 0 Bright Dust, the standard decryption with no focusing. 300 Bright Dust, legendary accessories, ghost ships, and vehicles together. Legendary shaders, legendary flare, holochips, ghost holograms, and transmat effects together. For 600 Bright Dust and an Eververse engram, you can get exotic accessories, ghost ships, vehicles individually with skimmers included in vehicles, legendary emotes, single player and multiplayer together, and legendary finishers. And for a whopping 900 Bright Dust and one Eververse engram, you can get exotic weapon ornaments, exotic emotes, single player and multiplayer together, and legendary and exotic armor ornaments, individual engrams per class and slot combination. So as long as you are getting Bright Dust, you can start focusing your Bright Engrams, or your Eververse engrams. So that's pretty cool. Focused engrams will contain Eververse source items in a category that are drawn from across Destiny 2's history. Even items newly introduced in Monument of Triumph and items that have never been offered in engrams or for Bright Dust will be available for focused engrams. Nice. Note that focused engrams will offer items only. Bright Dust will not be a reward option. However, so you can't get Bright Dust from the engrams themselves. However, you can still get offers of gifts of Bright Dust from the original standard decryption with no focusing. Okay, so as long as you're not focusing your Bright Engram, then if you just do the normal decryption, you might get a gift of Bright Dust, but if you are focusing it, you are not going to get any Bright Dust from any of these focuses here. Note that focus, okay, we did that. While several focus engrams have more items in them than we can show in the preview of its contents, seriously, there's a lot of items, they will not drop duplicates and their contents are finite. This means that they will gradually deplete as their contents are acquired. As an engram depletes, the preview of its contents will update and eventually all remaining items will be visible in the preview at once. When a focused engram has been completely emptied, its preview will be empty and additional purchases of that engram will be blocked as there will be nothing left to earn. So, you see it here. If you've earned everything, then it'll just grade itself out. It's going to take a lot of time, but Bright Engram focusing will also provide a one-to-one exchange for legacy engrams that were available before the Eververse engram was introduced in Season 12. The exchange for a given legacy engram will only be visible if that engram is present in your engram inventory. Eligible legacy engrams are as follows. Season 1 Bright Engram, Season 2 Illuminated Engram, Season 2 Dawning Engram, Season 2 Crimson Engram, Season 3 Prototype, Solstice, Steadfast, Ephemeral, Etched, Winterdrift, Crimson, Notorious, Jubilant, Best of Year 1, Nostalgic, Fond Memories, Luminous Engrams, and Mnemonic Engrams. Do people still have those? Huh. Evergreening. With the end of Destiny 2's regular release schedule and Moments of Triumph, we have made major changes to the ways we distribute Bright Dust and Chronologues or offer access to content from the Eververse, the Rewards Pass, the Monument to Seasons Past, or Bright Engrams. Each of these changes are from the perspective of supporting the weekly resets that will continue and on improving access to the many cosmetics that have been offered in Destiny 2 throughout the years. Some highlights of the changes, which we'll cover in greater detail in our patch notes, include Bright Dust and Chronologues. Chronologues will now be one of the 4 featured currencies shown across UI, listed after Glimmer and before Silver. They will no longer take a spot in the inventory as a result. Thank you. Bright Dust and Chronologues will shift their focus to be predominantly earned through the seasonal hub, with the weekly earnable amounts going up as the hub absorbs other sources. Interesting. Rewards Pass. In addition to the shift to the hub, Bright Dust and Chronologues will still be available on the Triumphant Rewards Pass, in part to compensate for the long delay. All Bright Dust in the Triumphant Rewards Pass is on the free track. Hell yeah, okay, cool. The score boost has been replaced with an additional set of XP boosts with up to 15% personal and Fireteam XP available. The 5 stages of XP boost will be automatically unlocked based on progress earned from the Lawless Rewards Pass. So basically, you should get the full XP boost bonus if you have completed your Lawless Rewards Pass, which is the current season's reward pass. The Triumphant Rewards Pass has received additional cosmetic rewards, including 2 additional armor sets, 6 shaders, 2 accessory sets, 2 emotes, a finisher, a holochip, a ghost hologram, and a skimmer. The Ashen Iron Rewards Pass and the Lawless Rewards Pass have been added to the Monument to Seasons Pass because it will be permanently available on the Rewards Pass screen. The Triumphant Rewards Pass will not be available on the Monument to Seasons Pass. That makes sense. The seasonal armor bundles for the Year of the Final Shape have been added to their relevant seasons in the Monument to Seasons Pass. This will allow Guardians to acquire samples of these armors to unlock them as ornaments. Eververse. The Eververse will be shifting to a more evergreen state. Some changes will be noticeable immediately, including a new daily offers tab, while others will occur starting June 23rd. More details will be provided in our patch notes June 9th. All right, and we have the Artist of the Week. Sun, All Along by Sun. Law of the Legend, my Polychef. Beautiful. Both beautiful pieces of art. Duncan and Gambit montage. All right. And that's everything for this rare Friday Twid. Hopefully it was plenty. There's a lot of great changes coming with Monument of Triumph. And our goal with this week's 3 articles was to lay it all out. Well, almost all of it. We'll be there with you all on June 9th, trying out some of the old exotics with some new catalysts, taking down old raid bosses one more time, finding friends in the most ridiculous private crucible matches, dropping an idea here, Javelin 4, New Land Beyond only, oh god, getting some renewed versions of fan favorite returning weapons, and blasting the most annoying horn during some late night SRL races. Honk back if you love Destiny 2 as much as we do, the Destiny 2 community team. Damn. So, a lot of good changes here. We got adjustments to transmog. We got adjustments to feats and basically more rewarding feats when you are doing them in raiding. We got new armor set bonuses for the raid and dungeon sets. They didn't go through everything here as far as like what armor set is going to provide what set bonus, which I'm completely fine with. We got a new set of Trials armor, sexy. New set of competitive armor, which is alright. a new set of regular crucible armor, which I think I might prefer this over the competitive armor for crucible. And yeah, some sandbox tuning, some ability tuning here, artifacts and exotic armor tuning, and we'll get more ability focused sandbox tuning next week, which I am really anticipating, because I want to see what they doing with y'all hunters, because y'all been menaces, thorns in my side for too long. But yeah, so a meaty twid, a lot of information here. I'm excited, man. I mean, yeah, we going out, but we going out with a bang, you feel me? So like I said before in previous videos, just log in June 9th. If you've never played Destiny 2 before, give it a shot, see if you like it, and just continue to support Destiny in a non-toxic way. We do not have to cannibalize other communities from the same studio to be able to support Destiny. So I'm going to try to continue to keep it positive on my side. But as always, y'all, tell somebody that you care about that you love them. Because tomorrow ain't guaranteed, but today can be hype. I'll see you guys in another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. See y'all later. Peace.